Hey guys, it's Jeff. Hope you're all doing real well today. This is going to be part 3 of the MiniArt 3-ton Opel Blitz truck. I've got the frame that we worked on before, and I want to get the springs on it and the rear differential all lined up, and then I want to get all the wheels put together today, okay? Alright, let's go down the bench, see what we can get done. Thanks. Here's the parts for the differential and the rear springs, and these are some hangers for the running boards that are all part of step, I'm still looking at the manual, I believe it's step 4. Yeah, actually it's step 5, where we've got to get these parts on, okay? I'll get all this stuff in the computer soon. But let's get the springs on and get these on, and then they want you to go ahead and build up just the spare tire, but I'm going to go ahead and do them all while I'm doing it. Okay? So first thing I want to do is build up this differential, which we actually don't do till quite a bit later on in the build. But I want to make sure that the springs fit correctly. So I'm going to go ahead and use that as a spacer right now. So let's go ahead and I'll just grab this with some white tack so I don't get my fingers near where I'm going to glue. This is possible to put together backwards. There's some notches here and here that the springs will mount in, and you got to make sure both sides are pointing the same direction. These pins are spaced exactly the same, so it's possible to put one side facing one way and one side facing the other, which would be a problem later on. Okay, there we go. There will be a seam here I'll need to do a little work on later. But yeah, that looks real good. I'll set that aside for a minute, and we'll use that to make sure we've got the springs spaced correctly. Okay, let's go ahead and let's see, this is right side up. Let's go ahead and put these springs on. And they go like this. There's a little bit of play side to side, and I just want to make sure everything is straight when I get them glued in. There's some little squares here that there's some pins that fit into. Put those in there. Okay. I spent quite a bit of time cleaning the seam up on these two. May still see just a tiny little bit. I'll look at it again. Okay. These go with this longer part to the rear, I believe. I'll double check here. Yes, the longer part goes to the rear. Okay, and I just want to use this to make sure these are spaced correctly before the glue sets. I'm not going to glue this in right now. There. I just want to make sure it all sits nice and straight. That looks really good. Okay, I've got these little frame hangers. They're supports for the running boards. I'm going to go ahead and put on. They'll go here and here, and the front ones are longer than the rear ones. So you got to make sure and put them in the right place. There's not much difference, but there is a difference. Okay, there's one. Whoops. It's all right. We know the spacing's good now. Okay. I actually should use the running boards to check and make sure I've got those spaced correctly. The fenders and the running boards are all one part. I'm going to go ahead and stop the camera for a second, and I'm going to cut those parts off and just use them to check as spacers to make sure I get those straight and level. Okay, I'll be right back. Thanks, guys. Okay, I let these set up for a while to where I could kind of manipulate them a little bit. I've used a straight edge and I've checked them across and I've checked them this way, and I think they're pretty straight, but I also pulled the fenders. It may be better to actually wait to install these until you have the cab together, just to make sure everything fits okay. It's possible when I get to this point I might have to put some glue on these and soften them a little bit to manipulate them, get them exactly where they need to be, but I think they'll be all right. But it might be easier to just do that once the cab is, it's not even, they're just kind of out there in the middle of space. There's some tabs on the back. There we go, to get them to line up. So anyway, I think they'll be okay, and these are firmed up now, so they should be good. I've got a couple of little parts to put on this frame, and we're pretty much done. This is part of the, I don't know if you'd call it a hitch necessarily, but it goes on the rear. There's a couple of real delicate little parts. I can see a seam line I missed. Hang on a second here. Try real hard to get all the seam lines off. Okay, and where's my tweezers? There they are. Okay, go. A real small pin here to put on. I think I can get it in place and then glue it. I did open the hole up just a little bit. I might have to put a little glue in the hole. Yeah, let's do it that way. The hole was really tiny, so I just opened it up a tiny bit with a drill bit, just to give it a little more positive location. Okay. That's where that goes, and then this will go here. And this will all go on the very back of the frame. Not sure just what that's meant for. Okay. Here I am way off over to the side. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. Then we've got this will go here. Just like that. Okay. Then we've got a couple little hooks that'll go on the sides, and that's gonna pretty much finish the frame for right now. There's some little tiny locating holes. Okay. Okay. I'm going to set this aside and let it dry, and we'll work on some wheels for a little bit. Okay. On the wheels, this is what they look like. Okay. I put this, the kit actually comes with one extra wheel, and it's a spare. So we've got 2 rears for a total of 4, the 2 fronts, so that's 6, and the spare is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, and this is an extra one. You can see what the tread looks like. Okay. This is actually not glued yet. You just have to be real careful and make sure the tread's lined up before you glue it. Also, there's some, these are the brake drums that are, I'm going to go ahead and put together too. So let's go ahead and do those here quickly. Let's see, this will be kind of right in there. Okay, and the brake drums are like a half moon. Okay. Just like that. Okay, I'm going to shut the camera off for a second and be right back, okay? Thanks, guys. Okay, here's one of the wheels. I'm not sure if I recorded everything. I may have missed something, but anyway, here's the 6 parts that make up one wheel. So we got 2 outsides, and they are numbered different. This is AM1 and this is AM2, and then we've got AM3, AM5, AM4, and this is for the spare. So the main reason, well, this one here, the center is actually larger so that it fits over the hub, fits over this ridge right here. So you got to be real careful and put them together in the right order. This is from the back going forward. So there is a tab here, and those need to go together like so, okay, to build up your rim. So we can put just a little bit of glue on here. I wouldn't get carried away with the glue. And it's this one. Make sure the tread pattern lines up. Okay. And then this, make sure it lines up. And then there's a notch on there. Let's see, this will go this way. We want to line that up. Make sure I've got it correct. Get it to drop in there. Really tight. Really tight. That should be correct. Whoops. There it goes. Just very, very snug. Okay, now we got to make sure that the tabs line up. Make sure, there it is right there. Okay. And this should go over the whole thing. Again, make sure it lines up. Okay, let's just double check here. These will go together. Make sure I got those, the tab together. Make sure that lines up. Okay, so that gives us our tread right there. It's very, very snug. Okay, let's go back and glue this. Okay, and we'll glue this. Make sure all the tabs are lined up. Okay, and then we've got, put a little more glue on there. Here's the trash truck. Okay. And there's one. That's all glued and that's ready to go. Real nice tread pattern there. Okay, let me go ahead and do the rest of these off camera. Don't want to bore you with that, but these say Dunlop and 720, and they've got some more, can't read it. There's very, very fine, some really, really fine lettering on there. Alrighty guys, let me go ahead and make the rest of these up and I'll be right back, okay? Thanks. Okay, that didn't take too long. Here's the two spares. We only actually need one for the kit, so that gives me an extra one to play with. These are all glued now. The spares have no lug nuts, just the holes. Okay. These are the outside rear duals. You see the lug nuts in there, and they have a couple of pins on the back to key them to the inside dual. They'll go together like this. Make up the rear wheels. Okay, so that's the rears, and then here's the fronts, and they've got the lug nuts on the outside of the dish. Okay, so here's, I don't know if I got this on tape or not. There's the brake drums for the front. They'll sit in there like that. Okay, and then this is for the rear. Once these are together, see if we can do it like this. Something like, well, let's do it this way. Put that through like that, and put that over it. There, that's what the rear will look like. Okay, so that's gonna about do it for today, guys. Quickly I'll show you, this is what I've been printing. There's a system out there, I can't remember the guy's name, Zach Friedman, I believe, kind of invented this, and it's an open source system for organizing your tools. It's called Gridfinity, and I've been printing a few of their products, but here's a grid. You can, depending on what size printer you have, you can print them bigger, but these are all standard sized, and then all the containers have a you know, the mating pair on the other side. This is actually to hold the infinity standing sticks, I should say. So the idea is that you can put them in a drawer, you can put them on a shelf or whatever, and you can have several different things. Like, say for instance, I did this. This is a tool or a holder for Tamiya tape, and you know, you can put that in there, and you can put several other things. I started printing this. This is for holding the Infinity cutting mats. I've only got 2 of them so far, but I printed that off. You can set that all in there. Let's go back a little bit here. But you kind of get the idea. So I printed several of the grids, and you can. They actually somebody has designed some with magnets in them, so you can actually you know, put them in magnets to where they don't come out as quite as easily, but they are still, so you can have a bunch of stuff organized the way you want it, and then you can move them around if you want to. So I'm printing something else now, and I've printed these few things. It's gone real well. I've had a couple of misprints, but if you go to the internet, just do a search for Gridfinity, you'll find all kinds of open source stuff that people have designed. I think this was designed by Zach Friedman, but most of these other things here are just designed by other people, and they put it up there free for you to print or modify. The only stipulation is that you can't sell them. You know, they're free to use, free to print, free to modify, but you know, in their original version, you know, they've got royalties on them. Anyway, I'll be printing a few more of these up for various tools and things, and I'm even probably going to design a few of my own to hold some of the tools that they don't have holders for yet. Alrighty, guys. You all have a great day, and we'll talk to you real soon. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.